Hi everyone, Dr. Caitlin Butler Birmingham, aka Dr. K, naturopathic sports medicine doctor. Today talking about the hamstring stretch with you. So for stretching, you want to hold for 30 seconds, maybe a little more if you're really tight, and also if you're using it for therapeutic uses, be prepared to stretch the area that's really tight 3 to 4 times a day. If it's just post-workout and you just want to make sure that you have really good muscle recovery, then absolutely just maybe once or twice. So holding the stretches for 30 seconds, maybe a little longer. Making sure that you're on the pain scale, you're at a 2 out of 10 for discomfort. So the stretch is therapeutic. We want it to feel like a stretch. We don't want to feel pulling, tearing, tugging, nothing like that. So definitely make sure that you're breathing through this and that you're not bouncing at all. So the hamstring stretch, I've actually had a couple people come in with lower back injuries from doing the hamstring stretch, so just wanted to go through a couple of cues with you today. So we're going to do the standing hamstring stretch. There's so many ways to do it, but it's just easier for you guys to see from that standpoint. So we're going to start it out. So the hamstrings are the muscles at the back of your thigh. They're a large muscle group. They do get very tight, especially with a lot of sitting at work. A lot of people feel that aching behind the knee. Sometimes that's just your hamstrings being super tight. So when you're stretching the hamstrings, you do really want to isolate them. So I'm sure you've all seen, this one where you reach for your toes. The only problem with that is now that you're into the lower back flexibility when you do that. So if you're isolating the hamstrings, stand with your feet together and then hinge at the hip. So a lot of my videos have hinge at the hip as a cue. So you want to make sure that your back is in neutral, and instead of bending over, all the bending is coming just from the hip. That's it. And there you're isolating the hamstrings. So depending on how tight you are, you might have felt it when you were like up here versus down here. Or maybe you're very flexible and you can bring your back even further down without bending it. So when you're in this position, a little trick to help you, if you really want to increase your flexibility of your hamstrings without, again, feeling anything more than a 2 out of 10 discomfort for doing this, is you want to contract your quads. So if you contract the front of your legs, it helps to relax the back, that opposite action. So when the quads are active, the hamstrings are quiet. So we're using that premise to help us increase our flexibility. So if you're like this, you squeeze your quads, you might be able to get a little bit more into it and start to feel a good stretch there. Now, as I say, lots of modifications for this, but I would say that if you're down here like this and you straighten out your legs, that's fine. You will feel it in the hamstrings, you'll feel it in the lower back, but be very careful when you come out of this pose. Always bend the knees first and then roll up slowly so that you don't get any sort of little stitch there in the back, because I have seen that happen and it's not good. Have people out of commission for like 2 weeks. So that's what you want to do. If you don't like that method, you can always put your foot up on a bench, for example, and then do the leaning forward from there. Lots of ways to do it. Always just remember that if you're not including the lower back by bending it, that keeping the legs locked out and hinging at the hip is really the way to isolate the hamstring. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.